Hello Food Box family, my name's Bianca. Let's go over what we got in our bag this week. Let's go ahead and pull out our nutrition ed and recipe page. We got Brussels sprouts, fresh spinach, rainbow carrots, beautiful colors, gorgeous. We got some fresh cilantro, some red onions, some gala apples, ooh, purple potatoes, and this week we got koji nut squash, or perhaps maybe you got delicata or spaghetti squash, depending on your choice of bag. So today's recipe is Brussels sprouts with apples and onions. So if you guys have been part of our Food Box family for a while, you may have seen this recipe before. This is one of our favorites. So let's go over some of the ingredients that we're going to use today. So we're going to use those Brussels sprouts that you got in your bag. We're going to use those gala apples, red onion, and some fresh lemon to finish it off. Let's go ahead and start with some oil in our pan. I'm going to go ahead and turn our pan up to medium. I'm using an electric skillet today. You guys can do this right on the stovetop. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil or vegetable oil to our pan. And then go ahead and get started on our red onions. So today we're using the red onions that you received in your box. You guys can use a yellow onion, you can use a shallot, you can use a leek. Any onion is really okay. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna dice that up. So we're gonna peel our skin. Our onions have already been washed. Even though you're peeling the skin, it's important to wash the outside because your knife is passing through that skin. So we're gonna go ahead and peel it, make a slice right down the middle, and then a couple the opposite direction, and go ahead and dice that up. I'm gonna continue cutting up our red onions. Once you got all of your red onion diced up, you can go ahead and add it into your hot oil. Hear that sizzle? That's how you know it's ready. All right, let's give that a quick stir. All right. And while that's cooking for us, let's go ahead and move on to our Brussels sprouts. So I love Brussels sprouts. Sometimes they get a bad reputation, right? As growing up, always eat your Brussels sprouts. But these are super tasty. They're basically like little cabbages. They look the same. They got these great outer leaves. All we're going to do with these is they're already washed, and we're just gonna go ahead and cut the ends off. So just a tiny bit off that end, just getting any of that dirt off. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna slice it in half, right? Making nice flat surfaces. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to cut it into slices. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut the other side. All right. Once you have all your Brussels sprouts sliced up, we're ready to add it right to our onions. So Brussels sprouts are a great source of fiber, vitamin K, and vitamin C. So let's go ahead and give that a stir. We're gonna let this cook for about 10 minutes or so until our Brussels sprouts are nice and soft. Today we're using gala apples because that's what you got in the bag, but you can feel free to use whatever apples you'd like. So what we're gonna do is we're going to cut off right around the core, and then we're gonna dice our apple. I'm not gonna cut my apple into too small of pieces because apple's pretty soft. It's gonna cook quite fast, so we don't want it too small because then we're gonna lose some of those flavors. So this is a great holiday recipe as well, so something to serve alongside the turkey during Thanksgiving this year. All these really seasonal flavors, so apples, Brussels sprouts are really in season right now. Brussels sprouts and onions have been cooking now for about an additional 5 to 7 minutes. And you can kind of see those Brussels sprouts are becoming this really beautiful bright green color. Some of those pieces are caramelizing and turning brown. You can also use cabbage in this recipe if you prefer that over Brussels sprouts. What I've also done before is I've just halved my Brussels sprouts or left them whole. If you're gonna do that and they're gonna be a little bit larger, you might wanna blanch them beforehand. This way it doesn't take as long for them to cook. We're gonna go ahead and add in our diced apple right to our hot pan. We're gonna give that a stir. All right, our Brussels sprouts and apples have been cooking for an additional 10 minutes or so. So they're starting to look nice and golden and our apples are nice and soft. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat off of this. Let's go ahead and add in our final touches. So I have a lemon here. I'm gonna give it a couple of rolls, squeezes. We're gonna cut that in half. And we're gonna squeeze about half of our lemon into our Brussels sprout. Add a tablespoon or so of lemon. And then we're gonna go ahead and hit it with some salt and a little bit of pepper. All right, and give that one last stir. Looks like our recipe is just about finished. We're gonna go ahead and plate it for you all to see. Wow, I wish you guys could smell this. All the fresh flavors in there are really coming through. You can see that the Brussels sprouts are still pretty green. Our apples are still red. They've softened up a little bit. And all of those onions have kind of caramelized and changed colors. All right, perfect. Beautiful. So plate this on a really pretty plate. I'm gonna go ahead and just took a little lemon wheel and cut it and just place that right on top. So guys, this is our Brussels sprouts with apples and onions recipe, a really beautiful side dish for any dinner, maybe even a holiday. And let's go ahead and let's just give this one little taste. See everything. Oh, beautiful. The sweetness from the apples and the onions in there with that little bit of lemon juice, perfect. All right guys, until next time, thank you.